Did they lack tact by turning their back? New York Mayor Bill DeBlasio is condemning cops who dissed him during the funerals of slain NYPD officers Rafael Ramos and Wenjian Liu. For the past 2 weeks, DeBlasio hasn't publicly commented on the officers' protests, but after cops ignored Police Chief Bill Bratton's request not to turn away, the mayor spoke out on Monday. Here he is at a joint press conference with Bratton.
Those individuals who took certain actions these last week, or last 2 weeks really, they were disrespectful to the families involved. That's the bottom line. They were disrespectful to the families who had lost their loved one. And I can't understand why anyone would do such a thing in a context like that.
The press conference was intended to tout record low crime numbers and show de Blasio's support for the NYPD, but the rift between the two continues to grow. Police unions blame the mayor for creating an anti-cop atmosphere, with some saying low morale is leading to the sharp drop in arrest rates. Sharon, I go to you first because you are a strong, proud comedian.
That's right.
What do you think?
First of all, I got to give a shout to Rick Leventhal. When we're in Times Square, the commissioner walking through, mad security, they pushing people out the way, they came right to Rick, and he sparked up a conversation. Rick Leventhal got power in this city.
We know that.
Awesome. Yeah. I never knew. Anyway, I think it's wrong to do that to the commissioner. Stop it. It's for grieving, not for grievances. I think that's the gold phrase right now. Grieving, not for grieving.
Sure.
So let the family have their time and do that some other time.
Yeah.
You can turn around and give them the fart stance all you want. I call it a fart stance.
All right. Lou, who should be impeached first, de Blasio or Obama?
I think that you can't lose with either choice. The fact of the matter is that neither needs to be impeached, but does need to be reminded of their responsibilities as leaders. And I disagree with Sharada. I gotta say it. Their grievances and grieving.
I grabbed my brooch, Lou.
Well, hang on to that brooch, because here comes some more. The reality is that there was no insult to that family. There was no one mourning and feeling greater grief for their fallen comrades and those officers in uniform.
Okay.
It is de Blasio who's insulted the police department, who has indicted law enforcement across the country, along with President Obama and Eric Holder. They have told a lie. Okay. The lie is that this is a problem that is a national problem and requires a national solution. They have created a national problem that now does require a national solution. And it means that these gentlemen, Holder and Obama and de Blasio, have got to say, I apologize for being ignorant and lying to the American people, because we should be honoring the sacrifice and the duty of these men and women in uniform, rather than denigrating them and castigating them. It's just pure ignorance on their part.
But there's no doubt that there are some very complicated racial tensions going on that go far beyond just what's happened in even the last several months. But what I think is so interesting
here... What does that mean, though? Joe, seriously, what does that mean? It sounds...
Profiling.
Oh, come on.
All kinds of
you know what, profiling is an issue. It's also been resolved. It was resolved by President George W. Bush. It has been illegal since September 11th. He is the one, not Eric Holder, who made it illegal for there to be racial profiling. If it's being done anywhere, it's against the law.
It just got to New York real slow.
Well, no, the fact of the matter is it only affects federal law enforcement. It does not affect local, because there, and if the issue is racial profiling, then deal with it. But to indict 35,000 men and women in uniform and call them racist, especially when you're the mayor or the president or the attorney general, I mean, it's just...
I don't think did de Blasio call? I don't think de Blasio called them.
No, he didn't. You know what he did? He created a metaphor by telling his son that because he is of mixed race, that he can likely expect to be mistaken by law enforcement, and he must be extraordinarily...
Is that so far-fetched?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, do you think most black parents in New York City don't say the same thing to their sons?
I got a tattoo that says
my only issue with that, and which I think Lou will agree with, is the fact that then I think the next weekend, when these two officers were shot and killed, and they left families and children, de Blasio said, I understand how you feel, I have a son. You cannot pimp out your family for your own agenda. He's using his son for each instance there, and you can't trust someone who does that.
You can't pimp out a city, you can't pimp out a country. Although we're witnessing exactly that on this issue. It's just sad to watch.
I think we all just got to come together, trying to get
No,
past this?
no, we don't.
And fix it?
John, we don't.
We don't have to come together?
No, we do not. I think that we don't paper over the nonsense. I think Eric Holder had one part right. When we talk about race, it's time to dismiss cowardice. People have to confront the issues openly, honestly, and with facts.
Yes.
And I think that's why
That's
you're
the
seeing
name of
this
our new show on
huge
Fox.
national debate. I think that's why
There's no huge national debate. There is a media exploitation of racial exploitation. This is the politics of racial exploitation. It is being played on by the media. How many people are in the demonstrations across the country? How many news organizations reporting the number of demonstrators in the streets? How many in Ferguson? How many in New York City?
I just
San
challenge
Francisco,
the
right?
fact that pure sheer numbers that are people on the street are necessarily exactly indicative of what conversations are going on at home and
but you would
beyond.
Agree,
There's
you
no
would
doubt
agree that
that
the
there's
who
something
and the
more.
what is an important part of any news story, and we wouldn't want to
Oh, well,
leave
certainly
it.
the tenets of journalism certainly stand. I do agree with you on that,
Yes.
but it's such a complicated situation. What I find so interesting though is that parking tickets are actually down 93% year over year. So if you're in the business of wanting to illegally park, this is your chance.
That's not a very profitable business, though, I don't think.
No.
Oh, it is for
But if
the
you need to,
Well, no, yeah, I mean,
Oh,
not for the
city,
illegal
of course.
parkers themselves, yeah.
Well, I illegally
Delivering
park
it there.
stolen cars, so it works for me. There we go, levity.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Lou, did you have anything you wanted to say about this?
Lou, you really should send an angry email to somebody. You got the email from Obama and all that. Tell them personally.
I do happen to treasure the tenets of our craft. And the reality is that facts do matter.
Yeah.
And to set, and simply cast these, in any point, to cast this aspersion on law enforcement, and to do so out of some sort of silly righteousness that suggests that there's some superior cause at work here that goes beyond honesty, truth, and a responsibility to civic duty.
Oh, can we write that down? That was a good
Lou, any final thoughts?
Anyway, I'm done.
Coming up.
So you